Hey there, and welcome back to English for Tech Professionals. I'm Anna Kondrabura, your English and effective communication coach. If you work in tech, you already know that English is the language of software development. Today, I will share with you 20 must-know English words that every software developer must know, understand, and use on the daily basis. These words will help you with code reviews, documentations, and even in job interviews. I divided 20 words into 4 groups. Before we get started, I want you to subscribe to this channel because every Friday you will receive a new English lesson from me and the English for IT team. The first group, tech terms. I want you to pay attention to how I pronounce these words because there is a chance you don't pronounce these words correctly. Another thing that I want you to pay attention to, I want you to notice how I use this word in context. So pay attention to how the word is used in a sentence. So I want you to write down not just the word, but the whole expression if you can spot it. Spot it if you can notice it. And the first one is algorithm. Algorithm. I'm pretty sure you know this word. This word sounds pretty much the same in every language in the world, but still, in English, we say it as algorithm. What is an algorithm? An algorithm is a step-by-step set of instructions to solve a problem. Algorithm. Repeat after me. There is this the sound, algorithm. Now, here's an example of how you can use the word algorithm in a sentence. We need a better algorithm to speed up this process. We need a better algorithm to speed up this process. The word algorithm is easy. However, in the sentence that I've shared with you, pay attention to speed up the process. But I want you to write it down in your notebook. New vocabulary, speed up the process. Speed up the process. I'm pretty sure you understand what it means, but the next time you need to say something similar, will you be able to use the same expression? You will, because you just learned it from me. And if you write it down, speed up the process, you will use it the next time you need to say that you need to hurry the process, right? The hurry up with the process. Word number 2, function. Function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task, right? So this is a function. Again, pay attention to pronunciation. Function. And listen to my example. Can you write a function to calculate the total cost? Can you write the function to calculate the total cost? Word number 3 is even easier. It's a bug. Is it a bug or a feature though? What am I doing here? It's a bug or a feature? You know this joke, right?
It's a feature, not a bug.
No. Okay, no. What are we going to do about it? What do you suggest we do about it?
So a bug is an error in code. There is a bug in the payment system. Let's fix it ASAP. Again, there is a fixed expression, fix bugs, yeah? To fix bugs. To deploy means to release software to a live environment. Here's an example of how you can use the word deploy in a sentence. We plan to deploy the new update on Friday. Easy. We plan to deploy a new update on Friday. Framework, word number 5. This is a structured set of tools that we use to develop applications, right? So this is a framework. And here is how you can use the word framework in a sentence. Which framework are we using for the backend? Which framework are we using for the backend? Moving on to section 2, and here we talk about workplace communication terms. And the first term, I'm pretty sure you all know this term, it's the word deadline, right? I don't need to explain what it is, but if I need to, I would say that a deadline is the time by which you need to complete something, to complete a task, to launch a project, etc., etc. Now, this is too easy, right? However, I still want you to listen to my example and tell me if you understand what I am saying here. We are able to beat the deadline with some extra effort. Beat the deadline. What is it? So here's the tricky part about a foreign language, about English, right? You may know the word, you may know all the words in the sentence, but it's hard for you to understand what the sentence means. Beat the deadline is an idiom. It's a fixed expression, right? That you need to know in order to understand the whole meaning, context of the sentence. So to beat the deadline means to finish something sooner than expected. And of course, since I know that you know what deadline means, I want to share with you some cool expressions with the word deadline that you might not know. And please write them down. The first one is to beat the deadline, to finish something sooner. Now, the next one is miss the deadline, right? So this is when you fail to complete the task on time. A very basic expression, meet the deadline, or sometimes people say make the deadline. But of course, before you meet the deadline or beat the deadline or miss the deadline, you set the deadline, right? To set the deadline, it's to agree on the time when the task has to be completed, for example. A roadmap. It's a strategic plan of your project. And here's how you can use this word in a sentence. Let's check the roadmap to see our next milestone. Let's check the roadmap. In other words, let's look at our plan of the project to see the next milestone. Milestone, this is the next big chunk of work that needs to be done in order to move to the next level. Backlog. A backlog is a list of tasks that needs to be completed. So if you have a project management tool, for example, Trello, let's say, or Asana or something else, you have a backlog with all the tasks that you need to complete. And from the backlog, you take the tasks that you're going to do today, tomorrow, next week, etc. For example, we have a huge backlog of bug fixes, scope, boundaries and requirements of a project. For example, you can say, let's define a scope before we start coding. It's, of course, very important to define a scope before you get down to work, start working, right? Because if you don't have a clear scope of work, then it's going to be hard for you to measure the results, right? And everyone on the team is going to have different expectations. Word number 10 is pull request, or in short, people call it PR. A PR is the request to merge changes into the main database. Can you review my pull request before merging? Again, pay attention to pronunciation if you know the words that I am sharing with you. Pull request. Repeat after me. Pull request before merging, merging. I know this sound can be a little bit tricky for different nationalities, but in English we say merge, like girl, merge, merging. In part 3, we're going to talk about advanced concepts. So the words that I'm going to share with you and some expressions that I'm going to share with you will make you sound more advanced and of course sound like a pro. And the first word, number 11, out of the whole list of 20, is to refactor. To refactor means to improve the code without changing the function. We need to refactor this messy code. Word number 12 is scalability. Scalability, this is the ability of the system to handle growth effectively or efficiently. Here's an example. Our architecture needs better scalability. Number 13, concurrency. Pay attention to how I say it. Concurrency. It's running multiple tasks simultaneously. First of all, here is one expression. Run tasks means to do tasks. This is a better, more advanced option. Simultaneously means at the same time. 14, latency. The delay before the system starts responding. And here's an example. Reducing latency will improve user experience. Number 15, and 15 is what nobody wants. It's a tech debt. First of all, it's not tech. Yes, it's tech. Second, it's not debt. It's debt. 3 letters. Debt, debt, tech, debt. Tech debt means shortcuts in coding that creates future problems. And here is an example. We need to address our tech debt before adding new features. Finally, moving on to section 4, words for career growth. Use these words in job interviews in meetings where you're asking for promotions, or in performance reviews or performance evaluation meetings. When you talk to clients, when you talk to your management, use them all the time. The first word is stakeholders. Well, I'm pretty sure you've heard this word a lot, but for some reason, people tend to think that stakeholders are like shareholders, investors or something. No, stakeholders are all the individuals or groups of individuals that are affected by the project, or they're influenced by the project, that are connected to the project. So technically, a stakeholder is you as a development team. A stakeholder is an investor, users, anyone. A stakeholder is anyone who is interested in the project success. And here's an example of how you can use the word stakeholder in a sentence. Let's update the stakeholders on our progress. Let's update the stakeholders on our progress. So stakeholders can be anyone, in this case, users, for example. Word number 17 is sprint. A sprint is a short period of completing a set of tasks in agile development. For example, our next sprint starts on Monday. Word number 18, I guess, it's mentorship. Mentorship is guidance from an experienced developer or an experienced project manager or an experienced web designer, depending on your job. If you're new in your career or if you're seeking growth in your career, mentorship is the answer for you. Find a mentor in your area who can help you grow, because with the mentor, you can achieve more than on your own. Number 19, soft skills. What are they? Soft skills are communication skills, teamwork, emotional development, all work-related abilities. For a software engineer, soft skills are as important as coding skills. And generally for any professional, soft skills are as important as hard skills. We are coming to the end of our list. Word number 20 is networking. We all know what networking is. It's building professional relationships. In English, there is an expression, your network is your net worth. You need to go out and network. You can network online, you can network offline, and actually I teach how to do it in the Power Skills for Work course. Which tech word do you use the most? Let me know in the comments, and I guess I will see you in the next video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share this video with your team, your colleagues, your friends. I'll see you next Friday.